So guys, I know I said before that I was going to get the Seat Exeo in and get it validated. I was just basically doing a light job on it. But I've decided, I was speaking to a validator and just asking him what kind of vacuum and that they used and whatever, and he just basically told me it was a wet vac. Well, I've got a wet vac. It was in the container, so I thought, what the heck? It is a budget build after all. I may as well scrimp back on a few pennies. At the end of the day, in this current climate, every penny's a prisoner. So just going to hoover it out with my wet vac to begin with, and then I've just boiled the kettle and I've got the soap. I'm going to scrub the seats. I've also got 1001 carpet cleaning foam. I'm going to spray on the seats and I'm going to get the interior looking absolutely bang on. I'm thinking maybe outside, I was going to maybe put it into a validator and get them to buff it up, but it kind of contradicts what I just said. It's a budget build and I'm going to be an absolute tight arse and spend as minimum as I can on this and get it looking its best. I feel the paintwork could be revived up, you know, just a bit dull because it's probably seen about maybe 6 washes in its life, but there we go. I think it would clean up alright. It's even like likes of the wee swirl marks and that. I think it would tidy up, eh? But I'll keep you posted, and you'll see the finishing product whenever I'm done. So with just a hoover, what a difference already. Now obviously I'm going to be shampooing the interior of this, but it's definitely a nicer place to be anyway. In comparison with the hoover that I done up at the house, I wasn't really getting much of a chance. I was using one of them battery Dysons, which was absolutely mint. My missus loves that hoover, but it's the worst ever. You know, you get like one section done and your battery's flat, and it takes forever to charge as well, so not recommended. Plug-in hoover all the way, gets the job done. That's it all scrubbed up. I'm just going to wet it down again and then use the wet vac. But I can tell already it's going to be a very nice job at the end of it. We're just going to repeatedly do this all the way across, do quite a few times, and then hopefully get as much of the soapy water out of the carpet. But already it is looking amazing. Now obviously when it's dry, that's another thing, but fingers crossed it looks just as good whenever it dries. Mixed in with the upholstery cleaner some disinfectant, so it's a mixture of smells in here. So now you've got the 2001 foam, you've got the upholstery cleaner, and you've also got the disinfectant. I think the big test with this here is how well I can get the seats looking. The seats are absolutely filthy in the material. Now all that is this here stuff. Now I've used kettle water, obviously waited for it to cool down, but all the product is in here. And then obviously oh, it's not 2001, it's Vanish. My bad. Sorry 2001, it's Vanish. Water. Like a painter stereo. I have a good feeling that this seat is going to come up really, really nice. You can tell already in the colour of the soap suds that it is pretty manky. Just can't wait to see what that comes up like. I'll just run the hoover over it now. Telling you, see if the seats come up anywhere as nice as that. We have put a couple of £100 into this car, selling wise. That is coming up lovely. Very, very nice. If it looked anywhere as good as that, you couldn't grumble at all. So I'm going to pause this and continue with the rest of it. What a fantastic difference, don't you agree?
An improved deal covering the last 2 years.
And if they do, I think that's a big problem for the oil quality nose.
Here we go, the finished product. Shampooed, get the nice mats in. Such a nice, tidier place to be. And it smells so much better as well. Doesn't smell of decaying bodies. Okay, good news, the part has arrived from Poland for this. So first things first, we need to get the battery disconnected. We'll leave it for about 20 minutes just to drain everything out. And then we're going to try offering up the comfort control module. And the reason why I need to do that is because it's a vital part of the car's circuit. So that's a computer. Also the engine's computer, the ECU, there's all different modules that could get fried. So we need to make sure that it's installed correctly. So first things first, we'll get the battery disconnected and then we'll get the module fitted. Okay, now for this, I'm going to be as gentle as I can cleaning this. So I've got the end of my sister-in-law's toothbrush. We're going to clean this. So this was the only affected one. I can't remember if it was a sequence to putting these on. The last one, this was a problematic one. It does go in a specific way, you need to put it in down past that and then push it in. Flip it in. There we go, it isn't going anywhere. Now I'm going to leave that out before I connect the battery up because I want to see what's working and what isn't working. Right, let me see. Hey, the interior lights are working. Look, electric windows are working. Okay, so everything bar the driver's side windows working. It sounds like the mechanism is absolutely fixed. Right, so we can't be dealing with that because the reverse light's been on constantly. So I'll need to look into that. Driver's side window. Right, so we can get the window down, get the wind effector on. Just me pushing it down, but I think the mechanism is well and truly gubbed inside. You can hear the cables kind of mangling together. So it's like you fix one problem and it uncovers a sea of problems. This is its first plug-in from the comfort control module was put in, and we're getting a lot of faults coming up, so we want to be checking exactly what's what. This is by far the most codes that came up. So hopefully once I see what is going on with these, if I delete them, what ones will come back. So it hasn't been plugged in at all from I got it. Right, so I'll open. So we see all these codes. I'm just going to go ahead and clear these. We've already got on video. Be interesting to see what comes back up on the screen. It's a slow process, but hopefully it makes good progress. Right, so nothing's coming back up because it's been deleted. So I'm going to start it. And I'll just back out of this. Exit. We'll exit right out. So let's get some wind deflectors fitted. Now, if you can remember from the first video, there was a broken armrest here. I've removed that, and obviously it's left these little holes. So rather than replace this for one that doesn't have holes, I've made an interesting cap to go over the top, and it basically hides the holes. It looks like it's meant to be there because it's the exact same plastic effect as the console. This is just a cutting off the armrest that I took off, and I've shaped it. Once you've got the glue on, just hover it above so you're not spewing glue all over the place. When you feel that you've got it in the right position, just gently lower it. Just keep pressure on it for about a minute and then leave it, go and do something else, and then that will set and problem solved for that anyway. Okay, to put you in the picture, I took it a run, took it for 4 miles and just along the back roads, done a few laps. That skid light was still on, brought it back, sitting in the yard, fiddling about with other stuff, doing a bit of research on it, and obviously in that space of time, I don't know what's happened, but when I went to start it and move it, it went off. So if it's off, it's good. So hopefully it doesn't come back on again. So I thought it would make this wee bit, just if it happens to you after doing the work, persevere with it, because it might go off by itself if it's just randomly come on. What a morning I'm having. I haven't had a chance to get near this Seat Exeo in over a week now, and I've been taking it a run every couple of days. Everything's fine. Went to go and bring it in this morning because I'm going to do a reverse switch on it, and the absolute blighter wouldn't start. Battery was flat as a pancake. I don't know what's happened. I never left it. I never locked it last night, and I don't know if the door wasn't shut properly. I really don't know. But interior light doesn't come on whenever you open the door because I've got it switched off. So I don't know if I've got a wee drain in the system because the battery is 100%. But anyway, I've taken a good run. Hopefully that'll charge it up. I've got an absolute thumping migraine today, but I just got to get on with it. So possibly you're wondering, whenever I fitted these, how I'm going to finish them, because as I said before, there wasn't a seal supplied with these. I think there should be, but any of the adverts that I've seen on eBay doesn't mention anything about seals, which I think is a bit poor, but considering how much they cost, it's neither here nor there. So what I done was I went to Tool Station and I got this kind of foamy, rubbery stuff. It actually comes in you get a few rolls of it. It looks like this. Now it's just trial and error, but if that fills the gap and makes it look okay, then we're good to go. So better crack on, get these arches off. So generally what the plan is, obviously I need to make sure that I know where all the holes are whenever I go to put it back on again. So if you have your rubber seal covering them holes, it kind of makes it difficult. So I'm going to use a blue pen. It's up to yourself what you want to use, but just go along and just stencil the outside of it. Yeah, how are you? So remove one. Don't need to worry about the bumper one, because that'll line up in the end. It's the metal panels you're more worried about. Okay, so once you've got one screw removed, the little hole in behind it, what you want to do is just put a wee line just above it, so that you know where to put the screw. You don't want to make any more holes than what you should. Okay, so when you're satisfied with what you've done, grab your screws. Looks a good bit better, but I don't think I'm really happy with them. Okay, so the overall finish isn't to everybody's cup of tea. And I can honestly tell you, it's not to my liking neither. But it definitely looks a hell of a lot better, because we don't have the gap now. You can't see the ground through this gap. I don't know, I really don't know how I feel about that, but I'm just going to crack on and do the rest. So a bit more good news. I'm just coming away from the old yard and I managed to find 3 space saver wheels that I could put on the Seat Exeo. The Seat Exeo also has a space saver in the boot. So the method to my madness is keep it rolling, take the wheels off, the alloy wheels off, and get them in and get the wheels refurbed by somebody that does that. Get started and get the wheels off. Woohoo! Excited. I haven't actually got anybody lined up to do the refurb on these, so what I intend to do tonight when I go home is put a post up on the likes of Facebook and that, and see who's recommending who, because I don't want some idiot that sat beside a painter. I want one that'll do a fantastic job, one that takes pride in their work, and above all, not an absolute fortune, because I would rather just go out and buy a set of wheels if it was that case. So I need to go to FK2 tyres and get some 18-inch 225 40 18s for the front, and then obviously get somebody to refurb them. Now I'm wanting them done front and back, but whether or not they do that on the refurb I really don't know, but we'll play it by ear. I'll keep you posted. You just watch this turn from a half decent looking car to an absolute mess whenever I put the space savers on it. So yesterday, whenever I removed the wheels for the Seat Exeo, a couple of the other tyres, now they're still road legal, but there was a couple of little blemishes that I wasn't happy with, see, like cracking in the tread and things, so I've just opted to get them replaced. So at least whenever the wheels get refurbed, It's going to have decent treads on all of the tyres. Still undecided what colour to do the wheels, whether to do them gunmetal grey, silver or black. Don't know if I'm looking into this too much, but the wheels, they'll cost about 200 quid to get refurbed. The tyres, I'll be getting part warns from FK2 tyres, so they'll probably be about £30–35 each. So you're talking, the guts are like 340 in total, just to get a set of wheels looking good and legal. What an absolute stonker of a day it's been. Weather's been beautiful though, but nothing has went right. So the part warns that I sent up to Deluxe Alloy Wheel Repair, one of them had a hole in the sidewall. Obviously it went undetected at the tyre place. So they managed to look out a couple of part warns as a substitute, and I'm just on my way to collect them now. Here we go. Wheels turned out not too bad. Definitely look the part on the Seat. Well guys, I don't know about yous, but I'm fair chuffed with them wheels. They'll look absolutely awesome on the Seat. So the sender caps, they are looking a wee bit worse for wear. However, I have a trick up my sleeve for that, and I'm going to vinyl wrap them and then make up a Seat logo to go over the top of them, and I think that would look lush. Because of how the days went, I've not really been, my mind's not really been with it, but I'm really pleased with them wheels, and I'm so relieved that I've now got the wheels back, and it gives me something to do to the Seat when I've got a chance. Okay, so it's currently 7:30 at night, and I'm working a bit late tonight. I'm going to bring the Seat Exeo in and transform it, get its nice shiny refurbed wheels on it. So watch this space guys, but I'll take you along. We'll go down and we'll be absolutely shocked how nasty this car looks. You see it. What? It's dying of nastiness. It's got bird crap and everything on it. Inside it is still smelling good, thankfully. But I've just figured out how I don't really have much motivation today. Anytime I go to record, just every time I switch the camera on, see, because I've took all my fur off my face and my head, I just feel like I'm looking at a stranger, you know. Plus my face looks blogging. Absolutely buzzing. I'm not going to put the sender cap on them till I've got them finished. So all the sender caps have removed from the alloys. It's definitely the right choice of colour for this vehicle. These look absolutely superb. They actually look better than what I had imagined in my head. Superb. I can't believe the transformation on this here. I'm absolutely buzzing. Now, it's just going on the back of 8. It's 8:05 now, so I'm just going to get this parked outside, drop the customer's car off and get a run back, get my Jeep and head home and relax for the rest of this evening. Come up the road for my lunch, so I decided to get onto the laptop and thinking of a nice little sticker to put on the centre of the alloys. Now, I think the modern Seat badge, it looks okay, but I quite like the idea of this, and this is the heritage. So this here's quite historical regarding Seat. So I'm thinking that would be like a nice gesture for the middle of the wheels. Maybe I don't know, maybe red vinyl. So I've made up 8 in total. just in case I have a bit of a problem with them because they're quite detailed. Okay, so I've now made one of them. That was the alternative, but I think possibly I'm going to go for that. So centre cap that I put vinyl on last night, just gently over the top of it because I wanted to get it proper centralised. Yeah, definitely. It turned out absolutely fantastic. It's going to look absolutely awesome. I'm going to get them fitted up right now. When the sunlight hits the metallic on the wheels, it really pops. Okay, so we're going to be doing the inner tie rod end on this today. Do this, which I assume is a 16mm nut. Knock the ball joint down. Undo the track rod end. Then remove the sleeve, which is that rubbery gaiter that's over the steering, and then that'll expose the inner tie rod end. Right, and make sure you soak it well in WD-40 and leave it for about 10 minutes. Attempt to remove the nut. And there's also a 13mm at the top, I forgot to mention, and then you just pop this here down. Okay, the best way I could describe this here, 19mm spanner, 21mm for the tie rod end. I've actually left the 21mm down at the unit, the one that I usually carry in the vehicle. So I'm just using my Mac tools, vice grips, and basically get into it from an angle and push it this here way. So it goes anti-clockwise, make sure it's held in up here, and then that loosens it. So once that's loosened, undo this, take your spanner out. Okay, so I've got it off, just need to get these clips off. Now I counted 26 turns when removing the old one. Obviously, whenever I'm putting it back on again, until I get the tracking done, the new one will be going on 26, but obviously I'll get the inner tie rod off first. Now, onto the bonnet, way down underneath the reservoir, is you can see the other side of the steering gaiter. Now in there you'll have one of these clips. Just need to get in it with a screwdriver, take it off. I'll just replace it with a Jubilee clip. So I also had to loosen it up. See, whenever I was under the bonnet, I used my wee pick just to get in behind this. Picked it off and then just put both hands in here and pulled it out towards me, and it come off. So you can see, listen to that. Right, so we'll get the inner tie rod remover and we'll get this off. Now for this, we're wanting to use the 1.5 with the bar. Okay, so get the 1.5 out. I had to go and buy this here, one brand spanking new, because it went walkies. I had one that I've been using for years and it actually went walkies. Now because of the angle, I'm not really getting a great purchase in, but I've managed to get it hooked on. It's just at a slight angle, so just be very, very careful. And I'll just put the track bar on. There we go. It seems identical. So nice and tight. So once you've got the inner tie rod end in, get a Jubilee clip which is the right size. Just fit it in with the gaiter. Whenever you're tightening the Jubilee clip, you can just see it It's further in there. You can get a wee bit of leverage with it. No, the Jubilee clip's now installed. You just got to remember to get the wee clip on at the end here. Now the clip on this here is actually quite easy to use by hand, so we can get it over. There we go, perfect. So once you get it in on the thread, it's 26 turns. So the bolt that snapped off, they don't actually give you that with the new track rod end, which I find absolutely stupid, because 9 times out of 10 that bolt snaps regardless to you using heat. But I went down to the unit, I've got some bolts that I'm going to try on it with the same thread, and I'll pick the best one out of the lot of them. Now another thing, the discs and pads on the back of that weren't looking too healthy, they were all corroded just with the car lying about. I've decided I'm just replacing the discs and pads at the back, regardless, because I'm still spending not a lot on the vehicle, because I'm still under £1,000, which I think is absolutely great. So I'll go and get this built back up again and take it a wee test run, see if everything's good with it. Okay, so that's a new one for it. Just going to tighten this here one up, the 16mm. When you move the disc from side to side, it is perfect now. There's no play in this here whatsoever. So we're good to go. Get the wheel back on, get the crack bar on the wheel nuts. Okay, jobs are good and that's it back together again. The wheels have been cracked as well. So all that's left to do is just tidy up and take a wee run. This actually drives like brand new. It's quite strange considering the wee knocking noise. I became used to that wee knocking noise, and now it drives absolutely perfect. I've ordered the disc and pads for the rear. Hopefully they will be here for Saturday. I just got them from eBay, just keep the cost down. Don't even know what brand they are, no bothered. Well guys, it's came to the end of another video. I hope you enjoyed it. It's just been a bit through together, just because of things that have been happening and that. But it just shows you I'm a good bit further forward with the Seat Exeo. And the next video will be discs, pads, and also an MOT. But hope you like the update, and I'll catch you in the next video. 1010 over and out.